right in the nick of time. I do believe that we are live. Buenas noches, gente. This is, as always, Isidro Montalvo Espinosa, broadcast coordinator for Liga Nacional Puertorriqueña en Vivo. And with me, just now, as always, is my co host, the redoubtable Luisa. How are you doing?
Good evening. I am doing well. It's nice and cool here for a change. It's exciting to be starting a new season of baseball. How are you doing?
Pretty much the same. Got a little bit of had some respiratory issues this week that I'm hoping are not going to crop up too badly during the game. But our Neguavo squad, as much as we love them, does really love to make us hyperventilate at times.
Yes, that's definitely true.
This is their first real ball game, a ball game that counts since, of course, they got swept out of the national championship. Huge embarrassment in 1903. And they've got, pardon me, they have to prove this season that, they're going to be back, that they're going to go back to the postseason, that they can, in fact, dominate again, that they can do better than they did last year, that they can actually bring it all the way home. They have been set that goal by their owner, sponsor, used this universe's much worse terminology.
Uh-huh.
And after making some roster cuts and some changes, things that have happened, 8 players left the team last year after they hit the decrepit old age of 30, according to the sponsor. So they were
Hmm.
replaced this year by some new prospects and a couple of established guys, and or at least established within the team's organization. They were not new signings. I believe the only players who are new to the team this year that are on the roster are infield backup Dushan. I'm gonna I practice this,
Ooh, okay.
and this isn't correct. There should be another L there. Radoslavojevich.
All
Yeah,
right.
it's I've had to correct the spelling on this thing like 3 times, and it hasn't taken so far. So you know, we'll see where we are.
Where's he from?
He is from Serbia. How he made it to
Okay.
Naguabo, Puerto Rico, I have no clue, and you don't either.
True.
Then we've got,
He's from parts unknown.
I mean, I do think we know, yeah, he's from Yagodina. We know exactly where he's from, but how he got here is the
Yes.
question.
But this is something they would say about professional
Yes, I
wrestlers in
know.
the 80s when they had a mysterious background. Parts
Hmm.
unknown.
Yes, and then they would say about Anthony Bourdain, was it? Was he Parts
Did he use
Unknown?
that too? Ooh, I
There
don't
was a
know.
show called Parts Unknown. I'm pretty sure it was Anthony Bourdain. But anyway,
Huh.
he's mostly here to be the backup to Benji Valdez because nobody else is a good shortstop enough to be backup to Benji Valdez. But this man is a glovesman of the first order. So we are going to be using him in that role this year. We only get him for about 3 years. He's already 27. And then
All right.
in the in the current sort of in the arm barn, we've got Karim Anbar from Tunisia who came over. He was the trade return for John Anderson, who went over to the Telegrafistas de Arroyo. And a lefty side armor is not supposed to be this good. Let's just put it that way.
We love our lefty
We
sidearmers, though.
do. He, in fact, occupies the same spot that Ricard Gotmo from Sweden did last year, and he was awesome for a couple
Wow.
of years. And we're kind of hoping that Ambar, who put up his spring training numbers, were eye popping. I mean, it was something like
Ooh.
12 strikeouts to 1 walk. He allowed something like 3/4 of a walk or a hit per inning pitched. He pitched in 16 games, more than any other reliever. Did very, very well in almost everything. I don't think he had a single hit by pitch either, which is a real possible issue when you've got a guy with a slider as a lefty side armor
Mhm.
facing righties or giving up homers, which he also didn't,
So he's one to
for
watch.
sure. And then the only other new guy we've got this year is Hervé Fontaine from Saint Martin in the Caribbean. He is there. He is pitching depth. We're
All right.
basically we're not looking to hold on to him for too long if he doesn't develop into more of kind of a reliable pitcher, but he's basically there to be a swing man if we can get good trade value for him, that's certainly something we could pursue down the line. But he's mostly just there to be another mop up guy. If a game's already decided, we're down 9-0 in the seventh, the starter's tired, put him in, put Bashir Roima in. They're kind of the lowest men on the totem pole right now.
Oh, it's good to have him.
Yes, it is. Anyway, so as we always like to start by asking you can see here how the different teams are stacking up against each other. How are you feeling right now?
Cautiously optimistic. I want to say I do know that our Nagavos have been doing quite well recently. So I'm going to say I think they can win this one.
I think so too. So looking at Canóvanas, they are currently one
Ah,
and three, and the losses have been the one win they had was by 1 run. They won 2-1 against the Telegrafistas. They lost to them the day after 7-5. Their opening game has really been their most embarrassing one. They got shut out by the Cotorras, and Fernando Mota, the guy we're facing, came out of that. He's supposed to be a much better pitcher than that. I don't know what happened there, but he issued four
mhm.
walks in that game and allowed 14 hits. But given that he's now rated a 77 overall, which is quite interesting to me, that's an unexpectedly high value for where he was last year. He was so very much developing in 1903, but looks like he took some big steps forward. The hope is that he's still kind of riding that early season iffiness and maybe won't be ready to face this lineup, which did get hot towards the end of the spring. So here's hoping that they can kind of keep that going. I also want to point out one particular oddity of this game, which is that both of these teams, I think this is the first time we've seen this, will have Australians in the lineup, and in this particular
Oh,
case, both are going to have Australians in the cleanup role. Nope, pardon me, they've already made a change to their lineup from a few days ago. Lance Matheson is now batting fifth, not fourth. But Wally Balk, our
oh,
very own human ripcord, will in fact be batting fourth. All right,
all right.
there's not much else to say. Let's get down to the field and get things started. The sound of the audience fills my ears. We are back at La Timonera, and look at this color scheme we got going. We've got sapphire shirts. We've got neutral white shirts, I assume. We've got black shirts for the Chupacabras.
Very nice.
It is almost a sellout crowd. 2,945 out of 3,000 seats have been sold. Clear skies, 24 degrees Celsius. The wind is blowing out to center at 10 kilometers per hour. So should be a pretty good game. We'll expect a lot of long fly balls that Graham Underwood and Eugenio Villarreal are going to have to put up with, and they're just going to have to deal with that. Underwood, by the way, one of the big changes for this team, you may recall that Ham, over the last 2 seasons, pitched, played backup first base, played backup left field, and then picked up center field last year in preparation for Roberto Calzacao leaving. Roberto Calzacao currently on the Pescadores de Salinas and the current OPS leader in the LNP. He has one triple and I forget how many hits over the past few days. And of course, he's only been in a couple games. But let's see here. He's got 4 hits and 6 at bats, one of which was a triple and a walk. So he's basically been on base all the time. Very early to tell. Again, two games is no real sample size, but it's still kind of funny. And
Yeah.
Ham Underwood is taking over the center field spot for him this year.
Yay.
He picked up the position over spring training and really distinguished himself. He started out as kind of slightly above average in those terms, but he's nailing it down. He looks like he's going to be a mainstay at that position, especially because having been a pitcher, his arm is actually stronger than Kasakao's.
Well, good. I'm glad to see Ham doing well. I have a special interest in that player.
Yeah, what's that all about?
You know, I really like his mustache.
Right. Okay. Well, fine. If you're going to make me say it. For those of you who are
Oh,
unaware,
do you want me to give it the hard
yes.
sell?
Yes, I do. Give it the hard sell.
Okay. Folks, Ham is actually a player created by me. I got to determine his stats, his skills, where he's from, his backstory. I got to write that, his name, everything, his nickname. And I was able to do that because I am a patron of the LNP. And if you go to Ko-Fi /LNP Gaceta, am I giving that address correct? I'm not sure. Okay. If you go there, LNP Gaceta at Ko-Fi, you yourself, for the low price of $3 a month, can become a member and create your own player, and you could be watching them play.
The deal that we do is that if you become a patron and you decide to create a player, we sign them to this team, and you can watch them basically on broadcast. We try to fit as many as we can on every broadcast. Right now, in fact, every person on this field in Sapphire and Gold is a creative player, from Wally Bach all the way right to Rob Feaster. Roberto Calzaco, ironically, was the only non-creative player in the starting lineup. So, especially if you're interested, if you've always wanted to be a pitcher, a starting pitcher, we would love to have you, because then that gives us a couple of options. Right now, we can really only broadcast games where Ted pitches, and it would be kind of cool to be able to do that with other guys. But yeah, also, this season, we are running a special because we just started the affiliate leagues. For a one-time $5 donation at that same address, you can design a minor league team. You can set up the color scheme. You can name the team. You can decide who it's affiliated to. We'll work with you. You can custom make this. We'll make the uniforms and set up the ballpark for you. So, with all that said, we should read a word from one of our more beautiful sponsors before we begin today's ball game. Luisa, who is our greatest sponsor of all time? Our GOAT sponsor, if you will.
Starting off our 1904 season, as they have been a supporter of the league since the beginning, this is Dr. Gonzalez Wood Tar Liquor. Folks, 50,000 patients have been cured over 10 years with this elixir. Chronic colds, rogue coughs, abundant chest discharges, asthma, bronchitis, and other respiratory ailments, those have all been cured by it. It helps with consumption and with bladder catarrh. That's inflammation. It purifies overhumored blood, it whets the appetite for fattening, and it is not to be confused with other Dr. Gonzalez Wood Tar liquors, except no substitutes. And, of course, it's sold in all good pharmacies, especially San Juan's own Farmacia Guillermetti, at the corner of Calle de San Francisco and Calle de la Cruz.
Thank you very much, Luisa. It is time now to announce the starting lineups. Playing tonight for the visiting Chupacabras de Canóvanas. Batting first and playing center field, number 2, Eugenio Villarreal. Batting second, the designated hitter, number 24, Fernando Martinez. Batting third and playing left field, number 15, Juan Carlos Diaz. Batting fourth and playing first base, number 31, Ildefonso Bibian. Batting fifth and playing playing right field apparently, number 42, Lance Matheson. Batting sixth and playing shortstop, number 23, Alvaro Alberganza. That man does not look well.
Oh dear. Not enough wood tar liquor for that guy.
Batting seventh, the third baseman, number 17, Eduardo Ramales, who hit the first homer of, I think, his entire career just the other day.
Nice.
He's 38. It's about time. Batting eighth and catching, number 6, Jesus Avila. Batting ninth and playing second base, number 9, Berengario Mariscal. And playing tonight for the Navegadores de Naguabo at home, batting leadoff and playing shortstop, number 6, Benigno Valdez. Batting second and playing first base, number 16, Rob Feaster. Batting third and playing right field, number 56, Frank Del Castillo. Batting fourth and playing third base, number 12, Wally Balk. Batting fifth and playing second base, number 11, Jacques Centur. Back from the injured list for the first time in a regular season game since I want to say about July or August of last year.
Woo!
We missed you.
Finally.
We missed you, Jacques. Batting sixth and playing left field, number 37, Vidal Santiago. Batting seventh, the designated hitter, number 4, Etaoin Shirley. Batting eighth and playing center field, number 27, Graham Underwood. Batting ninth and catching, number 0, Spike Stonehand. Nothing else to do but introduce us to our starting pitcher, number 2, Ted Looney Balloony Balloon, a right-handed pitcher, did very well last year, leading Liga Betances with 31 wins, has a curveball, forkball, and changeup, plus a fringe-ish fastball. Let's see what he's got for us tonight as he throws his first pitch to Eugenio Villarreal, who comes into this game 3 for 14 with an OPS of 5.52, no dingers, and no stakes. As we pan around the stadium, and we are underway. A sunny day on tap. It's a perfect day for baseball. 1904.
Beautiful. Love to see that grotto out there.
That's exactly right. As Villarreal checks his swing successfully on a low curveball 1-0, and we are off. Ted misses inside with a changeup 2-0. Early jitters there from Looney Balloony, the wild man of Naguabo, as they also like to call him. There he goes, Villarreal with a leadoff bouncer all the way into right field. Frank will throw it back, and it's a single, as Centur couldn't quite get to it in time. So, with a man on first and no outs, up comes Fernando Martinez, the former Capitán de Mayagüez, 39 this year, comes over after a few years there. Last year he did not do well with the Capitanes. He is certainly hoping to get a little bit of his own back, see if there's anything left in the tank. So far, not much. He's 2 for 13. As Ted Balloon attempts a pickoff, but Villarreal is back in plenty of time. He's going to be testing the base paths early to see if Balloon and Stonehand have their connection going. As there's a roller out to catcher. Stonehand has it, makes the throw to first, and that's out number 1. Villarreal will make it over to second on the ground out. It was a bunt that he probably didn't actually intend to make a sacrifice hit. He probably intended to pull back on that, but it didn't work so nicely. So that's 1 out with a man on second now.
Oh, boy.
Next up, let's see what we got here. Hold on just 1 sec.
I love those Chupacabras socks.
Yes, the new socks are absolutely wonderful. With a man on second and 1 out, up comes Juan Carlos Diaz, and we are a little bit afraid of this dude. He is currently 5 for 15 with an OPS of 775. He is by far leading his club in batting average. No home runs and no stakes. So let's see what's going to happen here. Ah, man, never mind. Curveball is in there for a strike, 0-1. Changeup misses. Stop me if you've heard this one before. Ted missed low with a changeup.
Oh, boy. Come on, Ted.
1 ball, 1 strike, 1 on and 1 out. Ace is wild as he throws again. Oof, that is smacked, but it's foul. 1-2. Vidal Santiago peels back, and we'll try it again. That was a fastball, and good job jamming him to prevent it from being good contact. Let's see what he's going to try here. That is hit to Wally Balk. He'll make the throw across the hallway, and that's out number 2. One thing you can say, at least, is that these have not been long at-bats. Ted Balloon heads into this third one, and I feel like I'm already jinxing it. With only 8 pitches on the line against Ildefonso Vivian, who is 2 for 15, with 2 runs batted in. Man on second and 2 outs.
This is probably good. Probably good for Ted to get people out as fast as possible.
Indeed. Fastball misses low, 1-0.
Before things go south,
That
literally.
is hit hard, but to the right. It goes foul.
boy.
1-1. A changeup there. No, pardon me. No, I was right. It was a changeup. Balloon throws that one in. It's a curveball low again. His curveballs are just not in the zone tonight, right now. 2-1.
Yeah. But he loves them.
That is hit, fouled the other way, and it'll make it 2-2. He does love them. And I mean, it's a good pitch, but occasionally you got to throw one closer to the zone, you know?
Yes. He never considers that, unfortunately.
That's that famous Rush song, Closer to the Zone.
Yes, that's right.
2-2 count. As he misses low. Oof, I really did jinx it. Misses low with another curveball, bringing us to a full count. And here's the 6 words everyone loves to hear during a baseball game. This will be a payoff pitch.
Woo!
That is hit hard to Valdez. He's got it. Oh, no, it's through his legs.
Oh, no!
Are they going to try running Villarreal? No. Looks like there'll be runners on the corners. With 2 outs, as Ildefonso Vivian picks up an infield hit. And up comes Australian right fielder Lance Matheson. He is 0 for 4. Obviously, no taters and no steaks. 2 on, 2 outs.
Oh,
As
boy.
Matheson watches that fastball miss way outside, 1-0. Ted's got to really just hunker down here. He's facing a lefty, which makes some things problematic as Matheson fouls that one off. A fastball that time, 1-1. For the record, Ted actually tried to improve his fastball some as he misses with another one over the summer, but it didn't work so good. Will says, mold a new reality closer to the zone. Yeah. That is what would happen.
That's right.
If he started throwing those. It'd be a reality, which he gets a lot more strikeouts. 2-1. That is knocked foul behind the plate. 2-2. Fastballs all for Matheson so far. Let's see if he'll go to a breaker here. Try and get him out that way. How is that? Edge call goes to Matheson. A curveball inside. And it'll be back-to-back full counts for Ted, who's about to throw his 20th pitch of the game. Let's see what he breaks out here. This will be another payoff pitch. No, it won't. Matheson fouls it off. A fastball. Payoff pitch number 2 coming in. He bangs it to Valdez, and there should be no damage done after this throw to first. Valdez gets the throw there in plenty of time, and that's out number 3. So a long inning, but at least no further damage. The side is retired and 2 stranded for Canóvanas as we head into the bottom of the first. Boy, that was a tough inning to watch.
Yeah, it seemed at first like they were going to get out of it real fast, but then not really.
No. Yeah, that's the thing. When Ted's curveball isn't working, he tends to rely too much. That makes him rely too much on the fastball, and he doesn't tend to throw it a whole lot in the zone, unfortunately.
Yeah. It's a shame.
Pitching for the Chupacabras de Canóvanas, it is number 1, Fernando Mota. Fernando Mota is a righty with a fastball, with a massive inventory. Fastball, curveball, changeup, sinker, splitter, knuckle curve, Professor, Marianne. He pitched his first game, over which he allowed 14 hits, 5 earned runs, of a total of 7. 5 strikeouts during that game, but 4 walks, so he's currently got an ERA of 5.00. He'll be facing, in his first at-bat of the 1904 season, Benji Valdez, then Rob Feaster, then Frank Del Castillo at minimum. Let's hope that first game shook him up a little bit, and that he throws like it. Here comes Benji. We do know how this lineup likes to strike out, so that's the real problem. And they love striking out against splitters, and Mota knows that, which is why that is exactly what he threw. 0-1, splitter, down and away. Valdez bounces that one to second base. Mariscal has it in plenty of time, and that is out number 1. A fastball he could not outrun. Up comes Rob Feaster, who has had 4 at-bats against Mota, and has yet to get a hit in any of them. 1 out and bases empty for him.
A fastball he could not outrun sounds like the title of a very in-depth documentary about one particular game.
Yes, or a player who died of a drug overdose.
Oh no.
Sink.
I mean, I guess so, yes.
Sinker misses low, 1-0. Feaster, knuckle curve, misses away, 2-0. Feaster already putting that batting eye to good use. His batting eye is probably the best on the team, or quite close, and he improved it over the offseason, so they're going to have trouble getting him out that way. As he flies that one out into right field, is that going to get caught? Yes, it will. It's a well-hit ball, but unfortunately Matheson had plenty of time to get on the track and grab it, so that'll be out number 2. Unfortunate, but man, it was a good try. Hitting a splitter that low, that hard is a surprise.
Yeah, he's very cleanly out there.
Yep. Frank de Castillo will be up next. He obviously is leading off one of the, or beginning his regular season, one of the team's best hitters over the previous 2. Valentissimo twice, I believe now, in right field for Liga Betances. Let me make sure that is true. That is correct, yeah. 1902 Valentissimo in right field, 1903 Valentissimo in right field.
Oh,
and
wow.
he massively increased his plate discipline over the offseason, so here's hoping that he's bringing that A game with him. 2 outs, bases empty.
Oh, that's exciting.
As De Castillo watches that one, that's got to have missed. That splitter hit the dirt, 1-0. Knuckle curve, just barely in there for a strike. 1-1. See if we can at least extend the at-bat a little bit here. Yeah, of course De Castillo doesn't like that call. That is exactly where Ted's curveball was called a ball last half inning.
Yeah.
1-2 count now. De Castillo fouls that one off rather disrespectfully. Good job there. And so Mota will at least have to throw 10 pitches in this inning as we go back to 1-2. That one is foul. Big arc, but it did land there. I do have to say, an interesting effect of the purple socks with the orchid, I believe is the official color, with the black shoes, is that they do look more like patent leather Madeline ass shoes than they normally would.
That is true, but I kind of like that. It's like they're, who else does that? Oh, like Highland dancers.
I like that idea, yeah. Yes. That's a much better call than my vision of as the starting pitcher leads the lineup out to the field going, Allons-y. 1-2. Once again. De Castillo watches that one inside, a fastball, low and in, 2-2 now. Good at bat so far from Diablo Rojo as he watches a knuckle curve miss low, and that's a full count. He's worked his way into this one. After going down 1-2, he's managed to work a full count, so this will be a payoff pitch. Let's see which ways it goes.
Nice.
He struck out to finish the inning. Mota goes with the fastball and gets him, but at least he extended that at bat. 8 pitches on that one. And there's no guarantee, given where it was, that it wouldn't have been called strike 3 if he hadn't swung anyway.
Yes, fair.
So we head into the top of the second. Scoreless tie, but so far Canóvanas has had all the traffic. Alvaro Alberganza, the shortstop, will be leading off for them here in the top of the frame. He is 3 for 13 with 2 runs batted in on the year so far. Ted Balloon is at 1 inning, having allowed 2 hits and 21 pitches. Let's see if he can rebound against the bottom half of this lineup. Ted rears back. That's going to be a strike. And indeed it is. Curveball. Mid-zone. Inside. Perfect pitch. 0-1. As he then misses with a second curveball. You know, he giveth and he taketh. 1-1.
It's true.
Alberganza with another base hit. This one into mid-center. Underwood will play it on the bounce. And he's going to throw over to the cutoff man. It'll be a single. Alvaro Alberganza on first for Eduardo Ramales, who is 4 for 14. That's an average of 286, OPS of 786, thanks to his solo home run that he hit a couple days ago. That was a fork ball that was away. It's a good pitch, but you usually like to throw your fork balls inside to same-handed batters. No outs, man on first. Here we go. As that fastball is in there, it's strike one, 0-1. Bunt attempt for Ramales, but he bunts it foul. A second fastball there. Now it's 0-2. Ted Balloon's got him in the hole. Let's see if he'll finish him off here. Oh, come on! The curveball misses low by the barest of margins, but it does miss. And we're at 1-2 now. Got him! One more pitch, and Ramales goes after the fork ball. This time placed exactly where it should be, down the middle. And that's out number 1. Ted's first strikeout of the game. With a man on and 1 out, up comes Jesus Avila, who is 3 for 12 with 1 run batted in. Oh, Stonehand with his first caught stealing. Alberganza is laid out to dry. Don't even know why they tried that with him.
That was very funny.
That's out number 2, and the bases are empty for Jesus Avila. 1-0 count now. As that changeup misses low, 2-0. Maybe they thought he was going to... Maybe they detected that was going to be a ball, but you don't usually run on a ball. Inside corner with the fastball to make it 2-1. Let's see if Balloon can pitch with a little more confidence now. That is popped up. Should be an easy catch there. As it'll be Centur who calls for it and has it. And that's a much better inning from Ted Balloon right there.
Yeah.
A rebound second, just allowing the base hit, getting a strikeout, a caught stealing and a pop-up. Canóvanas gets just the base hit out of it, and we go into the bottom of the second. It'll be Wally Bach, Jacques Centur, and Vidal Santiago, the Heartsmen of Naguabo, up to bat against Fernando Mota, who went 1 inning and got a strikeout on just 13 pitches. Wally Bach, a really developing bat this year, wasn't really able to generate more power last year over the offseason like they wanted. But, you know, despite that, he is very well rated for power this year. He's no Canadian, but let's see if he can get somewhat close here. His contact has also really come in enough. I mean, he's batting cleanup. That in and of itself should tell you something. There was no way last year. Last year, he mostly batted 7th or 8th. This year, he's batting 4th. So that should tell you something about how complete they think his toolkit is now.
Oh, that's exciting.
The knuckle curve misses low and in for ball 1. And then he swings right through the fastball, middle and away. 1-1 now. That's going to be called a strike as well. He does not like that. It's a splitter, and it's actually more inside than the previous one was.
Yeah.
So it's 1-2 now. Umpire pretty iffy on the outside to righties. So you see Bach's point.
It's a shame they can't challenge.
Yep. Splitter low, 2-2. Bach lines down foul. So we'll stay at 2-2, but he's got a good at-bat going. That was a sinker he got from him. As long as they can drain pitches. Mota's stamina is not... There we go. Bach swings right through a sinker for out number 1. A sinker inside and down. Rough. We stay with the bases empty, and Jacques Centur comes up to bat, the second baseman. Let's see what the Centurion has got for us. He did okay in his limited return from duty. During the playoffs last year. Let's see if he's back on form during the regular season as well. Fastball low, 1-0. Swings right through a changeup, 1-1. Big cut, too. And the changeup was nowhere near where he thought it would be. Centur last year was doing quite well as he lines that one into left field. Is that going to arc enough to be foul? Yes. It'll land right over the line there. I don't know why I'm happy. The way Diaz was running, he wouldn't have gotten to it. 1-2 count. Mota's already collected 2 strikeouts, and he gets his third on another sinker. This one middle, and just cannot get anything. They can't get any contact on that one. Third strikeout already for Fernando Mota, who again has struck out just 4 before this game. Up comes Vidal Santiago, the left fielder. One of the more, I hate using this word because it's kind of when it comes to baseball, it's a pretty old head word, but one of the more consistent bats in the lineup. He's usually pretty good at what he does. You kind of know what you're going to get from him. He did take a big step forward last year, and again, he had a lot of trouble trying to generate more power from his bat, but we're pretty excited to see what he can do. He did quite well, especially after he temporarily lost his starting job to John Anderson, the triples machine. You know, he did quite well.
Well, good.
Fastball misses low, 1-0. Base is empty and 2 outs. Not sure if we had mentioned that. Santiago bounces that one to Mariscal. And that's out number 3. Well, those have been 2 pretty embarrassing first 2 innings of the 1904 season for Naguabo. But as long as Ted can hold them here, hopefully the magic will eventually get cast. Ted Balloon will face the 9-1-2 hitters here in the top of the 3rd. He's thrown 32 pitches over 2 innings, 3 hits and 1 strikeout. And he faces Berengario Mariscal, who is 0 for 3. No taters, no stakes. He's got 2 hits and 8 at-bats against Balloon. As forkball misses inside, 1-0. Forkball misses outside and down, 2-0. See, this is the big difference between Ted and his opposite number. His opposite number is pitching in the zone. And I think if Ted were willing to could throw a harder fastball, he would do that more often. 2-1 now, as that fastball is in there.
He does have trouble with that fastball.
Yep. That is chopped foul, 2-2 now. And it means he takes just forever on each batter. As that is hit hard, Valdez has it. Nope, it gets through him again. That'll be another base hit for Ted Balloon to deal with. Mariscal will stop right there. And up will come Eugenio Villarreal once again, who is 1 for 1 on the day. Man on first and no outs. Villarreal goes for the bunt. Ted has it. Throws to first. Man, he could have had to play at second, unfortunately, but we'll take it. It's a sacrifice hit by Eugenio Villarreal. Mariscal goes over to second with 1 out, and up comes Fernando Martinez, who last time he was up did his own sacrifice hit. That's been a lot of bunting so far.
That's strange, so early in the game.
Yeah, first pitch, huge pop-up to Rob Feaster, and he's got it. It's out number 2. Up comes Juan Carlos Diaz, who is 0 for 1 on the day. Diaz swings at a high curveball and completely misses 0-1. Will asks what's wrong with Benji's fielding, and I don't know, man. Everybody has days like this, but fastball hits the dirt, 1-1. His fielding is still incredibly well rated, so it's not a thing of being relative to other shortstops in the league. Forkball misses low, 2-1. That's a changeup in there for strike 2, 2-2-2 with 1 on second. Let's see if we'll finish him off here. He will! Ted Balloon gets another strikeout with a changeup that time. And once again, they get a hit, and that's it. Still no score as we head into the bottom of the 3rd. Fernando Mota will now face the 7, 8, and 9 hitters, starting with Itaoin Shurtlew, who last year had to take over as second baseman after the Centurions' injury, and this year is back to playing designated hitter. He actually did very well last year as well. Very similar to the year before in terms of sort of relative performance. Did very well in terms of defensive rating. So we're pretty excited that he's chosen to stay with us. Anyone else, they probably could have been mad about, like, you're going to put me back on DH duty? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Oh, wasting no time on that one.
Charge.
Fastball misses low, 1-0. That's got to be the first call to have gone Naguabo's way this entire game. Fastball misses low and outside, 2-0. That's going to be called a strike. Yep, splitter, 2-1. The other thing I do like about the gold striping on the Canóvanas jerseys is that it kind of makes them all look like they're wearing chains.
Yes, that is a very cool look.
2-1 count. Sherlew, not quite past Bibian at first, but a good effort, and he cannot outrun that one. It'll be out number 1. They're starting to make contact with the splitter, so let's hope it won't be too much longer before they crack it. Up comes Graham Underwood, center fielder. Let's see what he's got. I'm guessing this is going to be a swinging strikeout, but we'll see. As Mota pipes a fastball right down in the zone, 0-1.
Although I do like Naguabo's 3 stripes. It seems very naval.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Knuckle curve misses low, 1-1.
On their socks, I should say.
He swings right through the splitter, and here we go, 1-2. Now's the time for Mota to get a strikeout off of some complete BS. As instead, Underwood fouls that one off and extends the AB somewhat, and he'll stay alive. Good contact on that one, a fastball away. Mota's going to make some stuff up in the zone here. Whoa! That was a great take by Ham Underwood right there. I think everyone thought that was in the zone, but it's the umpire says it's ball 2. 2-2.
Very good.
See the next pitch here. And that misses low too. Ham Underwood works a full count out of Fernando Mota. Nobody expected. Maybe we should be gambling on these games because everyone would have had to pay the house on this one.
Uh-huh.
This will be a payoff pitch.
Here we go.
No, it won't. Ham Underwood fouls that one off. He's going to stay in the at-bat. A fastball away. Let's see if he'll throw him another one.
Sounded good.
It did. Well, it was not a swinging strikeout, which is what I said it would be. It was a looking strikeout.
Darn.
Still, 8 pitches is the longest strikeout anybody's had, or the longest at-bat anybody's had off of Mota. So here comes Spike Stonehand, and after what we just saw, it is entirely possible that this will be even more miraculous. 2 outs, base is empty. As Mota throws in a sinker strike, not afraid of him at all. 0-1. Fastball hits the dirt, 1-1. Still not afraid of him. Stonehand. Big foul fly ball. And thank God it was foul, because otherwise it would have been the most easily caught pop out of all time. 1-2 now, a sinker and 2 fastballs. Let's see what Mota selects from the arsenal to try for the finish. And what he does is a splitter that runs up and in on Stonehand and nearly hits him. 2-2. Stonehand! What did I just say? Spike Stonehand breaks up Fernando Mota's inchoate no-hitter with an error-assisted single. As
AC Jordanis is back in the booth.
1 game in, baby. Let's go. Lance Matheson commits his first error of the year in right field, and with Benji Valdez up, he is 0 for 1 in the game. He is not going to stay 0 for X for very long. Man on second and 2 outs. Let's see if this is the breakthrough they needed. They just needed to know that Fernando Mota was Fernando Mortal.
Ooh.
That would have been better if I'd said it in English. Fernando Mortal. Whatever. Anyway,
Yeah.
Splitter, outside corner, 0-1 here. Doesn't like that pitch? That's fine. He'll throw another. He checks a swing successfully on the low splitter. 1-1 now. Did he check the swing again? He did on the fastball. 2-1. I think his shoulder went into it, but we're not going to tell the umpire that. 2-1 count. Valdez fouls that one off. 2-2 now. And this is going to be very interesting here. A 2-2 count. 2 outs. Man on second. Ooh. He misses with the fastball low. Another payoff pitch for Fernando Mota. Oh, he got him to retire the side. Big high fastball there. And Canóvanas' error will not come back to haunt them. We remain scoreless through 3, but both teams have finally put up a base hit as we head into the middle of the game and Ted Balloon faces the Heartsman of the Canóvanas lineup. Before we do that, though, it is time for another word from another of our sponsors. And I would like to let everybody watching know that for this game, for the 1904 season, we have finally gotten new commercials. Thank the Saints. Louisa?
It's very exciting.
It's
Thank
all
you.
yours. I will step away from the booth.
Thank you very much. Folks, I want to tell you about another medicine. This is going to help. You know, we know that wood tar liquor helps with pretty much everything. Here's the rest of your problems. They're going to be taken care of by Dr. Ayer's pills. These pills cure dyspepsia, constipation, migraine, upset stomachs, kidney, or uterine pains. And it's purely vegetal, sugared, and laxative. No one should be out without a little jar of them, these wonderful pills, to be able to take a small dose when the first symptoms of indigestion hit, and thereby avoid an infinity of illnesses. Prepared by Dr. J.C. Ayer and Company, Lowell, Massachusetts, United States. First prize at the World's Fairs in Barcelona and Chicago. I'm assuming this is the 1883 World's Fair in Chicago. That's also the World's Fair that gave us peanut butter, I believe. I wish we still had World's Fairs that did that. Suddenly introduced a food, and then everyone's like, whoa, yeah, let's eat this. Hot dogs, ice cream cones, peanut butter, these are great. You don't see that so much now. I've just noticed that these pills, these wonderful pills, not casting any aspersions on the pills, but they do say for a migraine that you should maybe take one. And then they do say that they are laxative, so I'm not 100% sure that's going to be the solution you want when you have a migraine. But, you know, get everything cleansed, I guess. I suppose when you have a migraine, I've had a few in my life, when you have a migraine, positive by comparison, so there is that. Yeah, take one. See what happens.
Which one did you hit him with?
Dr. Ayer's pills. I was just commenting that they tell you that they cure many problems, but they are a laxative. So you might be robbing Peter to pay Paul in the medical symptoms department.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. I feel like a...
I also said... What were you going to say?
I was going to say that I feel like a lot of those medications were basically... effectively were trying to... It was a race between the original ailment and the thing you were taking to cure the ailment.
Yes, that's very true. I was going to say they mentioned winning first prize at the World's Fair in Barcelona and Chicago. I'm not familiar with one in Barcelona, but I believe if this is the Chicago one of the 1880s, that would be the same World's Fair that gave us peanut butter.
Well, obviously, one of the greatest events in world history right there. Did they...
And a great way to trick yourself into eating a pill.
Did anybody... Yes, especially if you're a dog. Yeah.
Yes.
Did any foods get invented in the 19th century not at a World's Fair?
Well, it sure does not seem like it, does it?
Yeah.
We don't have that anymore. We just have county fairs where people are like, we invented kind of fried Coca-Cola. And you're like, that doesn't seem good or correct. Where's our miracle foods of the past?
Yeah. Well, you can't. The problem is you used to be able to invent foods at the World's Fair and then immediately serve them to people with no prior approval, but you can't do that anymore because of woke.
Oh, it's true. Finally, someone says it.
We're just kind of gonna let everybody know real quick
that we are really destroying our own reputations here. Yes.
In what sense? What reputations are we talking about here?
Reputations that we're not worried about woke, for one thing.
I would argue that if you can't just make some stuff up on the day of a big festival and serve it to people with no prior regulation of what you're doing, I would actually argue that woke did a great thing there.
Okay, that's true. And if you can't make things up and then sell them, how would we have any sponsors at all?
That's a very good point. But I would point out that all those people had to manufacture those things first. So there is that.
That's true. Ooh, have you ever seen an old-fashioned pill-making tray? They are pretty cool. It's ceramic, plaster sometimes. It has the shape of like 100 little pills, and you pour the mixture into them, and then you level it out, and then you let it dry, and then you have to tip out all the pills and shape them up. It's great.
This seems like something you would have seen on one episode of Downton Abbey, and then it would never be mentioned again.
Yes, very true. You see a cool pill-making machine.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes, in the middle of a storyline about how the local hospital lost funding due to some business venture that I'm sure was caused by a middle-class person and not the aristocracy.
Yes, exactly. They're the ones.
Yes. So at this point, I'm going to suggest that we stick to sports and go back to this ball game we've got to play the rest of. We enter.
That is a very good idea.
Yeah, we enter the fourth inning, and Ted Balloon is at 44 pitches with 2 strikeouts. He's allowed 4 base hits, but so far he's bending but not breaking. If I were a soccer commentator, I would say that Canóvanas is asking a lot of questions but getting no answers. And leading off in the fourth inning, it's Ildefonso Vivian, who is 1 for 1 on the day. He, of course, had a single last time, as that forkball misses low, 1-0. Vivian with what should be a line out to Vidal Santiago. If he catches it, which he does, it's out number 1. Much better AB for Ted there. And he'll now face Lance Matheson, who is 0 for 1 on the day. 1 out, bases empty. Something we really got to get working on. This occurred to us a little while ago. We need to have a pie chart of how many of the home runs that have been hit so far in the league over this first week have been by Canadian players versus players from every other country.
That's a good question. Yeah, we know they are the real heavy hitters, but
there's a few games left to play until everybody's through the first week of the season. I'm going to say 90%. I'm dead serious. I think it's 90%.
All right, I can't wait to find out.
Forkball misses way inside, 1-0. I know 100% of all Grand Slams have been by Canadian players, because it's just Bill McIntyre. Uncle Rosal. Fastball fouled back, 1-1 now. He's like 43, 42. Ooh, good swing and miss on
Wow.
that fastball. Really got him to go through a middle fastball, too. He just did not expect that until it was way too late. Let's see. Ted's got him in the hole now. Let's see if he'll finish him off. Not quite, but Centaur will. It's a ground out to second and an easy little 43rd Street putout. And Lance Matheson is now 0 for 6 in 1904. Up comes Alvaro Alberganza with 2 outs and the base is empty. Alberganza is 1 for 1 today. Fastball misses low, 1-0. See, changeup low this time again, 2-0. That is hit off the tip of the bat and line foul. 2-1. So full disclosure, these uniforms for Canóvanas were, whoa, hit very hard out to right center field. Nobody's chasing that one down, and it'll be down for extra bases. Looks like there was some miscommunication on the field there. Ham and Frank couldn't decide who should take the lead, and Ham is going for the throw all the way to third, but that's a bounce, so I'm going to assume it's a clean triple. And indeed, it is.
Speaking of triples, no, you were speaking of grand slams earlier. Different.
Well, the 1904 Grand Slam is a bases clearing triple plus an RBI single. So, with a man on third and 2 outs, Balloon now faces Eduardo Ramales, who is 0 for 1 on the day. Underwood and De Castillo out there got to get their differences over with. Calzaco spoke Spanish. I don't know if Ham does at this point or not. And that may be part of the problem, too. Because De Castillo has only been in Mexico and Puerto Rico. He hasn't had to learn to speak English on the diamond. Ramales watches that one. Curveball, 1-0. Stonehand speaks both. So he's Argentinian, but he's of English descent. So fastball misses low, 2-0. Come on, Ted. That is hit. Oh, no. That's hit to the exact same spot. And they do no better on this one. Ham's running that one down a mile, waiting for the ball to stop rolling. And that's going to be an RBI base hit. Back-to-back triples. What a heartbreaker for poor Ted Balloon there.
Yeah, it's really Breaking Bad now.
Well, Canóvanas, as it turns out, draws first blood here in the fourth. They take the first run of the game and once again have a man on third with 2 outs. Ted Balloon now facing catcher Jesus Avila, who is 0 for 1. He's got 1 hit in 4 at-bats against Ted. Ted has to keep this ball in the infield no matter what. That changeup misses away, 1-0. Changeup is in there this time, 1-1. That is line foul, 1-2. Let's see if Ted can finish him off. With a 2-strike pitch. He cannot. He misses inside with a fastball that Stonehand was barely ready for. 2-2. If that had hit the dirt, that's a 2-0 game all of a sudden. There he goes. He gets Avila on strikes. 3rd strikeout for Ted Balloon, but not before Canóvanas puts 2 hits into a run. They remain ahead 1-0 as we head into the bottom of the 4th. Or rather, they are ahead 1-0 as we head into the bottom of the 4th. And it's up to Feaster, De Castillo, and Balk to try and equalize as quickly as possible against Fernando Mota, who through 3 innings has allowed just 1 hit on 48 pitches and has 5 strikeouts. Rob Feaster is 0 for 1 on the day.
I guess it's really just lucky they got out of that one with only 1 run.
Yeah. Well, they should have gotten out of it with none. 2 outs.
Well,
Man on third, yes, but 2 outs? Come on.
Yeah, true.
Fastball away, called a strike for some reason. 0-1. Feaster's not going to like that call, and he will be right not to like that call. It was incorrect. He bounces that one to second base, and it'll be an easy 4-3 putout for Mariscal to Vivian. De Castillo comes up. He is 0 for 1 as well. 1 out, base is empty. De Castillo swings through the most obvious ball 1 of all time. 0-1. and fouls the next pitch off to make it 0-2. 2 fastballs so far. Let's see if Mota has something different in mind for strike 3. He did. It was a sinker. 6th strikeout of the game for Fernando Mota, and he will now face Wally Balk, who is 0-1 on the day. Bases remain empty with 2 outs. Dear God. Balk swings at a changeup inside 0-1. Swings on that one off the tip of the bat. Is that going to land fair? It will. Wally Balk gets a lucky bloop out there into no man's land. It's floated down the right field line.
Right.
That's a base hit.
Nice. Now we're working.
By the way, we forgot to look at out of town, but we'll do that during the 6-inning break. No worries. Jacques Centour comes up. He is 0-1 on the day with 2 outs and a man on first. Lines that one into left field. That's going to get caught, though. And Wally Boggs. No, that's going to retard the side, isn't it? Yes, it will.
They're still playing the charge. Interesting choice.
Yep. Well, after that squib of an inning, where Jacques Centour swung at a fastball that was in the other batter's box.
Oh, man. He's not used to it again yet.
Guess so. We enter the top of the 5th. Canóvanas remains ahead 1-0 and has every chance to do further damage. Ted Balloon had 62 pitches over 4 innings, allowed 6 hits, 1 run, 3 strikeouts, and he will face the 9-1-2 hitters. Mariscal is 1-for-1 on the day, which was his first hit of 1904. He goes down the middle with a forkball, and it's 0-1. Did he get it? You're kidding! The Centurion just made an incredible diving grab. He went to ground on that line drive and caught the ball. That's out number 1.
He must have felt guilty about his at-bat just now.
He scraped his elbow, apparently. Something awful, but they just slapped a little ointment on it and decided to move on with the day.
All right. Yeah, he's tough.
Next up, it's Eugenio Villarreal, who is 1-for-1 on the day. 1 out, bases empty. Last time he was up, he had that sacrifice bunt. This time, it is into right field. It's staying in the air. Does Ted Castillo have it? He does! It's out number 2.
Wow. All right.
Better communication there as Ted Castillo calls Underwood off, so they're learning to function with each other. And up comes Fernando Martinez, who is 0-for-1 on the day. 2 outs, bases empty. Martinez rolls down to Valdez. He's got no trouble with this one. And it's over to first. Easy little inning for Ted there.
Well, that was, I don't want to say lucky, but fortunate for the team.
It's a good rebound. And here in the bottom of the 5th, let's see if that perks the team up. The 6, 7, 8 hitters are coming up. Vidal Santiago's first up. He's 0-for-1 on the day. Let's see if this gives them a reason to, really show up. Fernando Mota is through 4 innings, 56 pitches, 2 hits, 6 strikeouts. As that splitter misses low, 1-0. That is fouled off backwards, another splitter, 1-1. He was expecting it, but maybe not quite where it was going to be. That sinker misses inside, 2-1 now. And he fouls that one off as well, 2-2. A changeup that time. Everything has been inside to be that here. I wonder what's up with that. I mean, obviously they're trying to limit hard contact, but they could do that just as well. Well, they did limit hard contact, but it still resulted in a base hit.
Yeah.
He gets a single out of that one. A third base hit for the Chupacabra, the third base hit the Chupacabras have to deal with, anyway. And with a man on and no outs, up comes Etaoin Shirtlu, who is 0-for-1 on the day. As there's a pickoff attempt, Santiago is back in plenty of time. Shirtlu bangs that one foul down the third baseline. Surprisingly, Ramales doesn't really go after it. It's a changeup low there, 0-1. Mota attempts another pickoff. Vidal back in plenty of time. Shirley with a crack into center field. That's not getting caught either. It's back-to-back base hits here. And Vidal Santiago, will he run over to third? He will not. They do not trust his legs on this one. But that will put 2 on with no outs for Ham Underwood, who is 0 for 1 on the day.
Oh, Ham, come on. Now's the time.
Would sure be nice to line one exactly where those guys hit their triples. That would be the move here. First pitch. Swinging down the first baseline. It's thrown to second. It's thrown back to first. And he's safe. They'll only get the 1 out there.
Woo!
Runners on the corners with 1 out. Santiago on third. Ham on first. And Spike Stonehand at the plate. He's already 1 for 1 on the day. Let's see if they test the base paths here. I wonder if Ham's going to try for second.
I bet you he is. I'm going to bet everything on that.
And I don't think it's going to go well. So here we go. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Pickoff attempt. Underwood is back in plenty of time. 1 out, runners on the corners.
You see that look in his eye.
There goes Ham, and he is going to get nailed by a mile.
Well, we were both right, so there's that.
Yes. Why they go on the first pitch? Like, just wait for 1.
Yeah. That would be good.
0-1 count. And now Stonehand swings and misses through that changeup 0-2.
Man, those are such good pitches to hit and not strike out swinging at.
Stonehand fouls that one off, extends the at-bat a little bit there. 0-2 still. Swings on that one. Man, a few feet to the left, and this is a tie game. High pitches, too. A knuckle curve, a sinker. And he pops up. It's caught by Ramales over down the third baseline. And that's out number 3. We're through 5. Canóvanas remains ahead 1-0 after Naguabo wasted a golden opportunity there. In the top of the 6th, Ted Balloon, over 5 innings, has thrown 66 pitches, has allowed 6 hits, 1 run, 3 strikeouts, and he now faces Juan Carlos Diaz, Ildefonso Vivian, and Lance Matheson. Juan Carlos Diaz is 0 for 2 on the day, struck out the last time he faced Balloon. Forkball, strike. Fortunate little call on that one, 0-1. And then he does miss low with the fastball, 1-1. Diaz chops that one to Centur. Great catch. Even better throw to Feaster. And that's out number 1. Juan Carlos Diaz, the prized off-season rookie acquisition, is over 3 on the day. Up comes Ildefonso Vivian, who is 1 for 2. By the way, that was Ted Balloon's nicest pitch of the night.
Excellent. I see his rating is very nice lately as well.
That fastball is low, 1-0. Ildefonso Vivian, by the way, wearing purple shoes. Love those shoes. 1-0. That fastball is in there, and Ted is amped. He's throwing a little bit faster than he usually can. 1-1. Swung on, lined into that same damn corner. And it'll be that Castillo who has to run it down all the way in center field. Pick it up!
He's just taking it for a walk.
It'll be a double for Ildefonso Vivian, his second hit of the night.
He could have got to third in that time.
And with a man on second and 1 out, up comes Lance Matheson, who is over 2 on the night. Not a particularly great hitter over the course of his career, as he once again grounds out here, this time to first. Feaster has it, and Vivian will go to third. And you remember what happened the last time. They had 2 outs and a man on third.
Yeah.
And do you remember who hit the first of those 2 triples?
No, but I'm going to guess it must be Albert Gonza?
Yep. He's 2 for 2 on the night.
All right.
See if Tech can finally get him out as he swings right through a big curveball. 0-1. Fastball misses low. 1-1 now. Are they going to call that in? Yeah, they'll say that changeup's inside. Fair enough. 2-1 pitch. Alberganza lines that one foul, 2-2. Boy, he got lucky on that one. That was a hanging curveball there. He could have easily banged that one for another triple. Instead, it's 2-2. Alberganza flies that one out right field. It's going to be foul.
Ugh. So much Sandra Fury, though.
Yep. We'll stay at 2-2. Got him! Ted Balloon with his fourth strikeout of the night. Alberganza, he gets a little revenge on him. And Chupacabras get a hit, and that's it as we head into the bottom of the sixth.
All right. If they can just score a couple times, we'll be in good shape.
Exactly. Top of the lineup up against Fernando Mota, who is through 5 innings on a nice number of pitches, having allowed 4 hits, struck out 6. We start with Benji Valdez, who is 0 for 2 on the night.
Here we go.
He chops it foul. He chops it foul. That's a knuckle curve low. Sends it foul, 0-1. Fouls that one off as well, 0-2. Man, he is excited. He wants this. He wants this so bad. 0-2 count. He checks a swing successfully on the low knuckle curve. 1-2. Here we go. Oh no! He swung through that one. Catcher has to have it. And it's a drop third strike. 7th strikeout for Fernando Mota. And Avila had to make that throw on the run, which he did. I don't think that was a... Yeah, I would have challenged that. I don't think that was a swing. But here comes Rob Feaster instead. He's 0 for 2. He grounded out to second last time he came up. Fastball, down and middle, 0-1. Feaster cracked hard, but it's going to land in Juan Carlos Diaz's glove. That's the story of tonight. Every hard hit by Naguabo has just ended up in a glove.
Yeah. You were worried about that guy, Juan Carlos, I remember.
Frank Del Castillo is next up. He is 0 for 2 on the day. 2 outs, bases empty. This is turning out to be a very fast inning. As Del Castillo fouls that one away, 0-1. Just 7 pitches so far for Mota. Sinker is in there for strike 2, 0-2.
You hate to see it.
That's his 3rd strikeout of the night.
Yeah.
We are through 6. Canóvanas remains ahead 1-0, and it doesn't look like they're giving that up anytime soon, if that inning is any indication. We're going to have a word from another of our sponsors. Louisa, the booth is yours. I'll step away for a second.
Thank you. Folks, we've healed up your body, your corruptible mortal form. You're doing great now. So, why not put the finishing touch on yourself, the cherry on top of the sundae, and make yourself smell wonderful with Atkinson's White Rose perfume. This has been called an exquisite perfume by Her Royal Highness the Duchess of York. As soft and sweet-smelling as a rose itself. The most delicious of perfumes is Atkinson's, the only real and original one. Again, except no substitutes. Atkinson's English perfumes are extremely superior to others. They have real, natural scents, actually extracted from flowers, and not artificially manufactured, as many others are, with chemical products like Upoponax, Frangipani, Essential Bouquet, Heliotrope, and Jockey Club, and all other fashionable scents. Do not trust imitators! Authenticity verified by the label and the factory mark of the White Rose. And it's sold in all perfumeries. Manufactured by J&E Atkinson, 24 Old Bond Street, London. So the finest rose-scented perfume from Europe, available wherever you buy your fine perfumes. Across the island, I am assuming. So it sounds like they're throwing some shade at their competitors in the middle here with chemical products. And I don't quite know what chemical scents they were using at the time, in 1904. Real natural scents extracted from flowers. That seems like the easier way to obtain a fragrance for a perfume at the time. But clearly not. I'm sure there's some type of chemical that smells like something that they would use. It's interesting that one of their called out competitors is heliotrope, which is a flower, but I guess they're not using the scent of heliotrope with it. Jockey Club is still around, I think, so they've beaten the allegations, I suppose. I wonder if they have other scents besides rose. They indicate that they are a reputable company with many choices. But we only know about white rose, which does sound lovely. And I don't know who the Duchess of York was at the time. I'm thinking about the abdication of the throne. That was later, of course, but not that much later. Is this the family of the Windsors that we are dealing with at the time? Not sure. I'm not a royalist, but I do watch a lot of period dramas. And people sure love to depict the abdicated king and Wallace Simpson, don't they? Ooh, Popo Nax. I've never heard of that one. That's a real tongue twister of a fragrance. Essential Bouquet. Haven't heard of that one either. Frangipani. I don't know that as a scent, I don't think. Makes me think of almonds. Is that correct? No, that's incorrect. Oh, it's Plumeria. Plumeria is Frangipani, which has very beautiful flowers that also smell nice, which is a rare combination. You see that in roses too, of course, but a lot of the time, the most wonderful scents come from very plain flowers, or you have beautiful flowers that don't smell like anything. There's gotta be a allegory in there somewhere, right? I'm sure there is. Again, the problem with these fragrances of the past, as we've advertised before, is that I don't get to smell them right now. Although I have smelled a lot of rose perfumes, and assuming that it's straightforward and just rose scented, I think I've probably smelled something like it. I feel like it goes in cycles where people decide rose scents are very sort of grandma types of scents, but then it comes back around that it's this beautiful classic fragrance. It always goes in cycles, doesn't it? The old becomes new and exciting again once the people you associate with it are far enough out of touch that you don't think about them. I actually have a shampoo that, to me, smells exactly like fresh roses, but it's labeled as a unisex scent, and the label is just like splashes of blue water. So they're kind of obfuscating that it's rose scented. And I don't think it's actually rose scented, so you'll never know unless you recognize the smell. But if you don't, unisex, because perfumes are not gendered. They say Napoleon really loved violets. They also say that of Josephine, so you would assume where they lived smells like violets all the time. You don't see that one enough anymore. I wonder if it's hard to get the essential oils out of violets. Maybe it's a very expensive process. It is harder with some plants than with others. And sometimes you need whole barrels full of fresh blooms to make just a little bit of the essential oil. But I am very curious about these chemical products. I know you can make a scent that is very much like vanilla from trees, sort of the process that you would use to make turpentine, but, not going that far. Because the scent of vanilla has a strong cellulose. I forget the term for it, but it's closely related. And as wood decays, it emits the same fragrance.
Where was this? Was this Atkinson's White Rose?
Yes.
Excellent. That's a new one, by the way. I found that one for the first time. Because for those of you who are unaware, these are real commercials that are coming from the Boletín Mercantil de Puerto Rico. That was a real publication. And boy, it was getting those, looking into those files.
Mm-hmm.
We would like to remain historically accurate and use the files from the 1904, but the thing is the ones after the American occupation are frankly just kind of terrible.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Much more boring, not a huge fan of them, so we stay using the 19th century ones, and most of the time it's actually pretty hard to find one that I haven't done before. I haven't translated before, but we went looking as hard as we could and finally found one. And yeah, this one was very funny.
I like that it calls out competitors
Exactly.
just right by name. That's wild. And as I was saying, in 1904, when you're smearing your competitors by saying they use chemical products, I wonder what those would have been. So I discussed that for a bit.
Gotcha. Yes, I had to look some of those up. I know that Apoponax is the commercial name for a particular essential oil that I can't remember right now what plant it's from.
Oh,
And I know that
okay.
S. Bouquet, Frangipani is a specific fragrance that I think might still be made today.
Yes, I looked it up. I wasn't familiar with that name, but it is plumeria. It's the same flower.
Oh, interesting. Because I only know
Yeah.
Frangipani as, almond cream.
Yeah, I thought so too, but unrelated, which is very strange.
Yeah. And then you've got S. Bouquet, I am informed, is
Mhm.
not a given fragrance, it is a set of them. It is a group like Eau de Toilette.
Oh, okay.
So that one apparently there were a number of different S. Bouquet fragrances around the same time.
Okay, so it was all collection.
Yeah, yeah. That one was the hardest to find. And then I do know the term that they used for fashionable scents was olores de boga, which I had never heard before.
Huh. I wonder what that's all about.
Yeah, it moda, MODA, exists. That's a word I've heard before, but boga is new for me.
Is that like? Oh, okay. I was gonna say moda. It could it be related to like the term a la mode,
Yes,
just
that is
meaning
exactly what it
fashionable?
is.
Okay. Okay. That makes sense.
Yep. All right, here we go. Let's get back to it. We're here in the seventh inning.
Are we going to hear about?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, are we going to hear about the other games around the league?
Yes, we are. Let's start with Patillas, pardon me, Ejemplares de Dorado at Cuervos de Patillas. Patillas, whose shirt I am currently wearing, in fact, is ahead 2-0. Roberto Castillo just reached on an error against Armando Rodriguez. The Ejemplares mounting maybe a little bit of a threat here in the third, but they're on a rain delay. The Telegrafistas
Okay.
are up 3-2 on the Valencianos, which is interesting. They should be up a lot more than that. The Cotorras are currently shutting out the Picudos 4-0. Pretty good. Tom Needham just stole second base here for on Kane O'Leary. Funnily enough, this might be the first screenshot I've ever seen where all three players are Anglo. Sam Rigby is the guy at bat. That's the shortstop for the Cotorras now. Kane O'Leary, the Picudos pitcher, and then Tom Needham is the base runner.
All right.
The Fundadores, pardon me, wrong name. The Matadioses are up 2-1 on the Ingenieros against Anaximenes Rodriguez, who did pretty well last year for them. The Corsarios are up 2-0 on the Capitanes against Mike Bellinger. No, he's Bellinger. He's not Canadian. Who is probably not very happy with that. Let's see. The Quesiteros.
No, I'm disagreeing.
The Quesiteros are ahead 5-0 on the Cerros. The Quesiteros are not going to be beatable this year, okay? The guy who's pitching this game 2 days ago pitched 4 2/3 innings out of the pen the day after he started a game. And between those two games, he struck out 13.
Wow. Is that El Nieves related to the Nieves dynasty, or is that a different
No,
gentleman?
he's from Luquillo. So, different guy entirely, I think.
All right.
Cafeteros are ahead 5-1 on the Fieles. Did the Cafeteros sign? Oh, the Cafeteros signed Karen Alexander, who used to be on the Reyes. So that's pretty interesting. I didn't realize they'd signed him. Because the Reyes let him go like 4 days ago, so that must have been a really fast contract. Golondrinas and Arribeños are locked in a scoreless tie in the 7th. Would that we had that same situation. The Reyes are ahead 6-0 on the Tejedores.
6-1, looks like.
Sorry, 6-1, yes. The Señores and Amigos are tied 3-3.
Tied at having very generic names.
Also true. Let's see. The Mercaderes and Marineros. The Mercaderes are ahead 3-0 on the Marineros. Ooh, we're going to have to expand this. What do we got here? Bill McIntyre has hit a second home run, has hit Bill McIntyre's stat sheet.
What? How's that possible?
Well, this is a different day. We're going to get there.
Well, yeah, but...
What, do you have a problem with nearly 43-year-old men hitting home runs constantly?
I wouldn't say I have a problem with it.
At any rate, he hit his second home run, but the Mofongueros as a whole are up 7-0 on the Mogotes. Brillantes are up 2-1 on the Acropolitanos. Ed Neal has hit his first 2 home runs of the season in one game for the Lustres. They are up 5-1 on the Frios.
That's wild.
Vejigantes are up 3-1 on the Cornupetas. Patty Grout just popped out. Knick-knack, paddywhack.
That's right.
The Hechiceros are up 2-1 on the Tumbabrazos, probably because Patty Grout is popping out, and I don't care. Macabeos are up 4-2 on the Lecheros. The Dulceros are getting absolutely smoked by the Jinetes. They are down 6-0. Let's see here. Only one of those runs has been earned, by the way.
Wow.
Poetas and Milagrosos are in their own scoreless tie in the 7th. Jolie just grounded out for the Menestrales in the bottom of the sixth, but they are ahead 5-1 on the Leyendas. Theo Boyce just popped out for the Taínos, and they are down 6-1 to the Tortugas. Let's see here. Coquis ahead 3-0 on the Insolentes. Those are two teams that we don't need to talk too much about. The Pepinos are up 2-1 on the Santos, but the Santos look to be mounting a threat. The Cítricos are ahead 1-0 on the Colmillos. That's going to be a tightrope of a game to walk. Esteban Flores is in for the Colmillos. Great pitch. This is going to be great pitching from both sides, I think. Let's see, the Galanes are ahead 7-2 on the Rebeldes. And the entirety of scoring in the San Isalvos versus Combatientes game has been a single Reginaldo Gonzalez home run. So they're ahead 1-0. Wow. The Eléctricos are tied with the Marcianos 2-2 in the 7th. And before you ask, Pablo Nieves is also not related to Victor Nieves.
I'm sure he has to answer that question all the time himself.
Let's see. Eduardo Alanis hit a homer for the Romeros, and that would be the entirety of their scoring. The Guiristas are currently ahead 5-1 on them. The Corsos are up 2-0 on the Murciélagos. I don't think that's going to last much longer. So they do have Harlan Wadden starting the game for them, and he's a pretty good pitcher. So I can see where maybe, they might pull this one out.
Mm-hmm.
The Palomas and Lobos are tied 3-3 in the 6th, and Bob Moulds has hit 2 home runs to bring his season total to 4. He has hit 4 home runs in his first 5 games.
That's criminal.
You're not going to get this, and I don't know if anybody listening is going to get this. It's a new day rising in Arecibo. Bob Mould used to be the lead singer of Husker Du. New Day Rising is a Husker Du song.
Okay.
But damn, the Lobos having a genuine power threat is not on the scorecard for this season. Bob Moulds won Ilustrísimo, or the Governor General's Award, in the Western and Plains League a couple of times. So this is not... It was sort of unexpected that he would be this good. We kind of thought he'd be fine. That he would be this good is kind of weird.
Do you think the LNP is sending batting coaches to Canada, or hiring batting coaches from Canada just to find out what they're doing? How are they doing this? Because it is
they're
wild.
Hiring the players from Canada is what they're doing.
Well, yeah, but surely they want to know how to teach their local boys to do this.
I think the answer is teach them to be lumberjacks.
They need to get out there and start chopping down some trees.
Right. Keep chopping wood. The Canarios are ahead on the Muros on an Alarico Molina homer, which is the most unlikely sentence you're going to hear this entire time. Alarico Molina is not supposed to hit homers. That's not what he's built for. Okay. Here's a combination of names I did not expect to see when I woke up this morning. The Corceles are ahead 2-1 on the Guavaleros. Aiden Gibson, who was traded from the Martilleros over to the Guavaleros, is at bat currently against Corceles' star and a guy I very much wanted for the Naguabo rotation, Bulos Haroun from Qatar. And the guy who just struck out looking for the Corceles is named Jaheim Lawrence. I didn't know people were naming their kids Jaheim in 1904.
Is that biblical? I have no
be.
idea. I have no context.
Yeah, I could see that. Maybe it's a weird transliteration of a Mennonite name or something. He's on Moon Springa, ran away from home to play baseball.
Yeah, what does his beard look like? Then
exactly. We'll know. And the Libertadores are up 4-1 on the Termales. Boy, that's rough. Jose Flores not doing so hot in his rookie season here. Wait, Jose Flores? Okay, no, that is a Puerto Rican flag. For a second, I got confused. And lastly, I think, the Pescadores are up 1-0 on the Guardacostas. Pierre Lemieux has had a pretty good start to the year so far. He shut out San Juan in his first start, and he's only allowed 1 earned run in this one. So, there's another one. Alfie Allen is currently helping the Martilleros stay tied with the Metros. They are 2-2. And now I think we're finding the last one. The Artilleros are up 2-0 on the Cañeros. And some dude named either Dermot Brow or Dermot Bruff walked for the Cañeros as we're entering this this review here.
All right.
All right, back to the game at hand. Ted Balloon, 6 innings, 79 pitches, 7 hits, 1 run, 4 strikeouts, and he will now face the 7, 8, 9 hitters, but he will not do it without some help in the bullpen. We're going to start prepping Big Jack Atoll and Kareem Onbar, depending on how things go. But first he will face Eduardo Ramales, who is 1 for 2 with a run batted in. As Ramales, come on, he swung. It's called ball 1, even though Ramales' shoulder definitely went into that one. So it's 1-0. Balloon rears back, pitches again, and gets a strike call at the bottom of the zone on the fastball. 1-1 now. Forkball misses outside, 2-1. And then he misses outside again with the changeup, 3-1. Ted got to settle down a little bit here. Maybe he's a little nervous now that he saw the bullpens working. Ramales sends that one over to center field. Ham Underwood plenty of time to get underneath it and take it for out number 1. Up comes Jesus Avila, who is 0 for 2 on the day. 1 out, bases empty. Avila watches that fastball miss low, 1-0. That fastball outside is called a strike, 1-1. Ted very good at the variable speed fastball. He doesn't always throw it at the same velocity. Which,
I mean, that's one good thing about his fastball, I suppose.
Sure enough. His third fastball misses low and inside, 2-1. But the problem is that he likes to use it to challenge batters, and it doesn't really do that.
Yeah.
As that fastball misses away, 3-1. Gentleman hitters count here. Let's see what happens. Ted gets another ball in play to center field. Good confidence in his center fielder there, and it's rewarded. Underwood has it for out number 2. With 2 outs and the bases still empty, up comes Berengario Mariscal, who is 1 for 2 on the night. Or the afternoon, as the case may be. Changeup is in there, strike 1. And that is banged foul by Mariscal there for the strike 2. Real hollow sound on that fastball off the bat, 0-2. Got him in the hole here. And he got him! Mariscal goes down swinging. Balloon has his 5th strikeout of the night, and that retires the side. Canóvanas gets nothing across. And at the bottom of the 7th, it'll once again be the Heartsmen ready to respond. If they are. It'll be Balk, the Centurion, and Santiago, and Balk is 1 for 2 on the day. He faces Fernando Mota, who is through 6 innings on 78 pitches, 4 hits, 8 strikeouts. Balk with a line drive center field. That's staying very high. It's going to get caught as the center fielder there, Villarreal, makes a big jump to catch it. A good hit off the bat, but an even better defensive play in center field. Nothing you can do about that. Roger Muir just tied Bob Moulds for the home run lead across the entire league. They're in different leagues, but Muir now has the lead in Liga Ostos. Jacques Centur comes up. He is 0 for 2 on the day. 1 out, bases empty. He's had a first pitch swing already. As that curveball misses way inside, 1-0. Base is empty and 1 out for the Centurion, who watches that knuckle curve miss low. 2-0 now. And watches that fastball miss low as well. It's a hitter's count for Jacques here. Let's see if Mota will go for the gentleman's strike. He will not. It's a 4-pitch walk. The tying run will be on base. And you know what that means.
Yep.
What does it mean?
Things are about to get interesting.
Specifically?
You got me.
He is 100% going to try to steal on the next pitch and get thrown out.
I see. I mean, yes.
Vidal,
I'm going to say no. He's not going to get thrown out. I'm going to take the opposite
let's
side.
see what's going to happen then. Vidal Santiago is up. He is 1 for 2. He's got 1 hit and 4 at-bats against Mota. That hit coming today. And you were right. He doesn't even get thrown, let alone out. The Centurion makes it happen. It's his first steal and the first steal by any member of the Naguabo squad. And with a man on second, 1 strike and 1 out, let's see if Santiago can dunk this one into the outfield and get us the tying run. Well, he's trying.
They know he's having a hard day. And they wanted to give him one.
He swings right through the splitter. 0-2, yeah, probably. It's his first day back. Come on, be nice. He's a little first day back guy.
He's a little guy. It's his birthday.
Splitter misses inside. Ball 1. He struck out. Swung on a missed on the knuckle curve.
Man.
And Mota will now face Edwin Sherlu, who is 1 for 2 on the day, with a man on second and 2 outs. Sherlu hit a single back in the 5th. As Sherlu takes the first pitch, it's a changeup for a strike. 0-1. Fastball misses inside. 1-1. Sherlu lines that one, but it's foul. 1-2 now. That was Mota's 9th strikeout of the night. As he misses inside again with a splitter. 2-2. Swung on, lifted, right field, it's going to land! That is safe! Lance Matheson is going to have to throw home. Is Centaur coming? Centaur takes third. It'll be 2 on and 2 out for Ham Underwood, who's 0 for 2 on the night. Here's a chance to be a big-time hero.
Ham, earlier when I said this was your chance, you're right. I was wrong. You should have struck out then, because now is your chance.
That is a very weird bit of positive reinforcement, question mark.
It was a good move to get struck out earlier, because you saved it all up for now.
All right, here we go. 2 outs, 2 on. Underwood at the plate. First pitch, it misses low and in. That's ball 1. Underwood! Through the right side of the infield. Tying run is going to come home easily on that one. That is an RBI single for Graham Underwood, who gets the first run batted in of the 1904 season for Naguabo and ties the game here in the bottom of the 7th. Naguabo ties the game on a Ham Underwood RBI single. Shirt Lou takes second as Lance Matheson can't get the ball out of the glove.
I knew we could do it. Can we see a replay of that? Is that
yes,
possible?
we can. Let me remember what the button is here. Here we go. Boop! Crack single, daisy cutter that Mariscal couldn't quite bring in. That's a little bit of revenge for all those base hits that went through Benji earlier. And by the time it got to Matheson, they had to know. All right, here's the real question. There are 2 outs, so we're going to put Anbar and Katol back on warm-up duty. Do we pinch hit Salmeron here?
How's he doing this year? Is he still having trouble?
Well, I mean, he's not as good as a bunch of the starters, but in terms of contact at this point, he's actually better than, like, look at this. He's better than Vidal, Itaoin, Wally, Rob, in terms of pure contact.
Right.
And he's definitely better than Spike at the plate.
We still got like a third of the game left, though. Is it worth
2
changing
innings.
him out? So you're leaning towards yes?
I'm leaning towards yes, especially because Fernando Mota, let's see here, is he worse against lefties? Nah, by a little bit, not by much.
We should just go for it then.
Yeah.
Why not?
I was elected to lead, not to read. Here comes Salmeron to see if they can take advantage of Mota's handedness here. And Salmeron will be taking his first cuts of the 1904 season. 2 on and 2 out. Big moment for him. Historically, he's been a very good pinch hitter. Usually shines in this role, but things could always change. Here we go. As that pitch misses low, it's a changeup, 1-0. So does that one. Sinker misses low, 2-0. Salmeron lines that one. It's hard hit, but it is foul. Oh, good line drive, man. If that had been fair. 2-1. That was a fastball there. I wouldn't throw him that one again. Fouls that one off. It's 2-2, and now I feel like we're going to end on a strikeout. Here we go. Everybody cross yourselves if you feel up to it. Deuce is wild. Salmeron! Crack base hit. Deep right center field. It's fair. It lands at the track. That's going to clear the bases easily. 2 runs should score on that base hit. It's down for extra bases by Pablo Salmeron. It is a Pablo Salmeron pinch hit. Go ahead. RBI triple. Naguabo is ahead 3-1. Sherdlu and Underwood score.
That was amazing.
And Pablo Salmeron, in one good swing on a high fastball away, takes the team lead in runs batted in.
Wow.
2-out magic.
Is he back? He's back.
2-out magic from the Naguabo lineup here on the 99th pitch of the game from Fernando Mota, who has managed to somehow snatch, at least temporarily, defeat from the jaws of victory. He will now face Benji Valdez, who is over 3 on the day, with a man on third and 2 outs. As that changeup is called a strike. Didn't have to be one, but it's called one. 0-1. Or we can still... Damn it. I didn't know if you could replay the latest play or just the latest pitch. 1-1 count, and now we know.
Darn.
Valdez swings, it's strike 2 on the sinker. 1-2. Let's see if Mota will finish him here. Go for K10. Oh, you're kidding! On that? On that you strike him out? It's Fernando Mota's 10th strikeout, but now before 3 hits and 3 runs score, straining just 1. The Navegadores are ahead 3-1 now as Pablo Salmeron takes over behind the plate.
They've got this.
Huh. Interesting. He's rated a little bit better on defense than he used to be. That might just be a relativity thing, though. Okay, let's see here. Wow. Whoa! Remember how the Canarios were ahead 1-0 entirely on 1 home run? Guillermo Loredo hit another one at some point, and it wasn't a grand slam, but it was a 3-run homer. They are now ahead 6-0.
Amazing.
Dang. Also, hold up. Who's this guy here? Let's see. Santa Isabel. Oh, I can't access it. I was trying to find out if Alfredo Valdez is related to our Benigno. Those seem like names the same family would give their kids.
Yeah, I can see that.
All right, Ambar and Catol are going to be back in the pen just in case. And looks like Ted Balloon, 7 pitches, 92. Pardon me. 7 innings pitched, 92 pitches. 7 hits allowed, 1 earned run, 5 strikeouts. And he will now face Hector Vasquez, a pinch hitter, who is 0 for 1 on the day. Last year he had 264 with just 9 runs batted in over the course of the year. As Ted is not given the call on that high forkball. 1-0. That is hit hard out to center field. Underwood seems to have tracked it down. And he does. It's a hard line out there, and he's got it. Out number 1. He will now face Fernando Martinez, who is over 2 on the day. 1 out, base is empty. Martinez Grounded out to Benji Valdez back in the 5th as he gets the call on that fastball. 0-1. Martinez lets that fastball go by him, and it's called ball 1. Evens the count. By the way, Ted Balloon was actually not supposed to be the opening day starter for the Navegadores. I don't think I've talked about this, but bench coach Harvey Burford really got sort of the first pass on everything. And for him, it was going to be Jamaican pitcher Everton Stack was going to have the honor of starting on opening day, but Balloon didn't even ask for it. Basically, the other player said, this is who we've been with this entire time. Like the playoffs, whatever. If you want Stack to start game 1 during the playoffs, who cares? That's fine. But for opening day, Ted Balloon is starting. Yeah. It's an honor thing. I mean,
makes sense.
What is it? This year, right now, he's the only one from last year's starting rotation that's still there. Poor Quinlevin will be back for his first start, but he's currently on the injured list. So.
Oh, okay.
So this season, the starting rotation is going to be Balloon, obviously, Stack, Jan Paikos, and Poor Quinlevin when he comes back. And then Tomas Perez is kind of a swingman in case they need an emergency start now and again. Johan Hoss is also kind of in that situation where if they need him in there, he can get in and start a game now and again and not be too terrible.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's a 1-1 count. Martinez bangs that one. It goes to Benji Valdez running to his right. Look at that. It's the anti-Derek Jeter right there. Makes it all the way and runs it to first, and it's out number 2. Juan Carlos Diaz is up. Let's see if he can keep him off the bases. It's 0-for-3. 2 outs, bases empty. Diaz swings on that one, but it's foul. A good hammer on that changeup, but it's 0-1. And you kind of see why Ted doesn't throw the changeup in the zone all that often if it's going to get hit that hard.
Mm-hmm.
Fouls off that changeup as well, 0-2. Hit hard out to left field. Santiago's not going to have a chance at it. He wasn't ready for that one. And once again, for some reason, we are running parallel to the ball instead of just picking it up and throwing.
It's like the hoop and stick game without a stick.
Yeah. It's a long throw, but it's a Juan Carlos Diaz triple. He finally gets on base during the game. And that will bring up Ildefonso Vivian, who's already got 2 hits on the night. Ted Balloon is at 100 pitches. We'll let him face this batter only because there's 2 outs. Vivian swings right through that fastball, 0-1. That fastball is called a ball inside, 1-1. Swings right through the forkball, 1-2. Ooh, and a forkball outside the zone, too. That's so disrespectful. Not even throwing it where you could theoretically hit it. Remember how I said the Murciélagos would eventually take the lead? They have.
Well, good for them.
1-2. That is hit back up the middle. Yup, that's going to be an RBI base hit. Centur couldn't quite scoop that one, and it'll be back to a 1-run game as Vivian gets his 3rd hit of the night. Matheson will be up.
Like that.
He's 0-for-3. We're gonna let Ted have him. 2 outs, man on first. As that curveball is called a strike, miraculously. 0-1. He swings at a curveball away approximately 4 million years after it had broken by him.
Not that you're editorializing.
Yeah, it's a quick 2 strikes there. Let's see if he'll finish him off. Not quite. He's playing with him a little bit. Change up inside, 1-2. And curveball low, 2-2 now. Come on, man. Oh, my God. Change up low and away to run into a full count, so this will be a payoff pitch. that didn't need to happen. What? Where did that miss?
It's a good question.
Balloon will now face pinch hitter Rene Escobedo, who has yet to bat this year. Last year he hit 218. This might be a bad decision, and I fully acknowledge that. But whenever possible, I like to let my starters go as far as they can.
Mm-hmm.
Hits the...
That was right on the plate, wasn't it?
Yup, with
All
the
the way
fork
down?
ball, 1-0, for sure. Swings on that one, and it's foul. Thank God. Otherwise, that would have been dangerous. Fastball there, 1-1. Swings on that one and fouls it off as well. A fastball again, 1-2. Once again, prayers up, everybody. Got him! Ted Balloon gets his 6th strikeout of the game to retire the side. Straight in 2 runners. And now Naguabo will have a chance to respond against Fernando Mota. We're going to be warming up Hector Varela for closing out the game because we're not letting Ted take the 9th. We might. Eduardo, he's up against the 7, 8, and 9 guys, and there's no way the pinch hitters are better. So...
yeah. You gotta pull out all the stops.
But we'll see what happens. Rob Feaster will be leading off the bottom of the 8th against Fernando Mota, who is through 7 innings on 103 pitches, 7 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 walk, 10 strikeouts. Rob Feaster is over 3 on the night, including some of those strikeouts. As he watches that sinker miss low, 1-0. Swung on, lifted into right field, right into Matheson's glove. 2nd time that's happened to Rob Feaster, poor guy. Fastball down and away. Perfect pitch to hit. He just didn't get quite enough power on it. Aubrey Handrahan on the Tumbabrazos, who led all of professional baseball last year with 55 home runs for the Sault Ste. Marie Rapids in the Royal Canadian Baseball League, just hit his first LNP home run.
Wow. It's a real fancy lad kind of name.
Yes, he is. There's a lot of those in the Canadian leagues. Up comes Frank De Castillo, who is 0 for 3 on the day. He has struck out 3 times. If we had a backup right fielder, we'd be replacing him right now. That sinker is down there for a strike, 0-1. That fastball is in there, strike 2. He decided he wasn't going to swing, and now he's just getting thrown strikes.
You hate to see it.
You really do. 0-2. Okay. Curveball low and inside, 1-2. That's something. He checks his swing in time. On the sinker, 2-2 now. Oh my God! 4th strikeout on the sinker, the 11th for Mota on the day. 2 outs and the bases remain empty for Wally Bach. Is that a golden sombrero?
What?
Hold up. Yes, a golden sombrero is when you strike out 4 times in one game.
That's interesting.
And in the case of this specific player, feels offensive. Given, he's from Veracruz and all. But yes, a golden sombrero. I'm trying to see where did this begin. The term derives from hat trick, and since 4 is bigger than 3, the rationale was that a 4 strikeout performance should be referred to by a bigger hat, such as a sombrero.
And golden on top of it. Sure.
Let's see here. Sombrero was apparently already in use to describe a 4 strikeout game as early as 1977, and golden sombrero appeared in print in a 1979 article about slang used by the minor league Jackson Mets. Also, let's see here. There is some thought that it was that Carmelo Martinez, who was a Puerto Rican player from Dorado, invented the term in the 1980s, but I think that's got to be Hispanic. I think that's got to be confusing Hispanics or something.
Yeah.
There,
Although if he's from Dorado, gold on the brain.
very good point. Gold on the Brain, isn't that's a Black Keys song? I want to say.
It's one of the hazards in the game operation. Let's
There
say.
you go. If it's 5 times in one game, that's called a platinum sombrero, by the way. And 6 times is either a horn, because Sam Horn of the Orioles did that one time, or also titanium sombrero or double platinum sombrero.
No, they're not thinking correctly. They're gonna have to use bigger hats. You just have to. You can't just say
How much bigger does it get than a sombrero, though? Like, where are you going to go from there?
Yeah, that's a good question. They've really painted themselves into a corner.
Yeah.
I mean, are we talking height or are we talking width?
I'm talking total surface area. Because otherwise, I don't think we can win those.
Yeah. I'm imagining one of the carnival hats that has so many ostrich feathers.
Interesting.
I don't know their names.
Yeah, that makes 2 of us. I can't help you here. You've gone where I can't follow.
Oh, well. Yeah, I wasn't surprised.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Bottom of the 8th. 2 out, space is empty. Up comes Wally Bach, who is 1 for 3 on the night. Let's see if he can do anything here. He's flown out. He's singled. He's struck out. He's had a little bit of everything on the plate today. As that's a cold strike outside corner there, 0-1. Did he check his swing successfully? He did on the curveball, 1-1 there. Low and inside for the fastball, 2-1. Wally at least is having some quality ABs here. That's something. As he immediately misses the fastball. Just completely misses a fastball inside. 2-2. Hits that one hard to Mariscal at second, who makes the throw, and that'll retire the side. Well, that's out number 3. Right. They've got 3 outs to lock it down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they're sticking with Ramales. He's 1 for 3 on the night. We're going to let Ted face the first batter and go from there. Ted has gone through 8 innings. Luck, say again?
I said good luck, Ted.
114 pitches, 2 runs, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. Ramales fouls off that first pitch. It's a fastball, 1-1. Good pitch, down and away. That pitch is up and away, and he doesn't swing. 1-1. Misses again with a forkball. 2-1. Come on, Ted. Ted!
Ted,
3
we're all
fastballs in a row, all low and away. Now, granted, one of those ball calls may be because you have a worse catcher behind the plate, but all 3 of them are not. Come on, man. In the zone, Ted. Come on. Fouls it off. Fair enough. That's full count. That makes this a payoff pitch. You can do this.
Here we go.
Pop up! That's going to be either Sentiment owner Feaster. Looks like it's Feaster who gets it. And that's out number 1.
Nice. Okay. 2 more.
2 more, Ted. You can do this. Up comes pinch hitter Juan Medina, who is 0 for 1 on the day. 1 out, bases empty. Starts him out with a fastball strike, low in the zone. Daring pitch, 0-1. That is fouled off. 0-2 there. A fastball again that time. You got to throw the off speed, man. You got to throw something else. He got him! What did he get him with? A curveball. I told you. Curveball out of the zone, and that's out number 2. And now up comes
he never listens to
pinch hitter Felix Cruz, who is 0 for 1 on the day. Let's see how he's done in previous seasons. Last year he hit 216. The year before, 220. And boy, he got a lot of at-bats for a guy who only hit 220 and 216. Right down the middle. That's so disrespectful. I know I've said that a lot during this game, but in fairness, that is how he's pitching. 0-1 count. after that down the middle fastball gets called strike one. Way inside with the fastball, 1-1. Come on, Ted. You have other pitches. Use them. Fouls off the changeup. Away, 1-2. One more strike, Ted. Let's wrap this up. Swings on that one. It is... Are you kidding me? It bounces over the second baseman's head. It's a looper. And it's a base hit. The 10th of the game for the Chupacabras. And that'll put a man on base for shortstop Francisco Ortiz, who is, to be fair, 1 for 8 in this young season. Man on first, 2 outs.
I don't like it. It's making me nervous.
Still not panicking. Ortiz chops that one foul.
Okay.
Fastball up and away. Ted Balloon attempts to pick off to first, and he's safe. Let's see if they can attract a steal. That would be the funniest possible way to end this. That is hit hard. You have got to be kidding me.
That's not. It's not. Okay, well, I don't like it.
At the very least, are they going to get the tying run in? No. Runners on second and third.
Okay.
Ooh.
Oh, my God. Ah, I hate this. Ted. Ted, you just need to get this one guy out, Ted.
You saw his comment. You heard the gentleman.
I mean, it's true.
It is. Okay, Harvey. It's all down to you and Ted and Pablo. Fernando Martinez is 0 for 3 on the night. We are sending Ted Balloon all of our energy. As that is hit right to Wally Bach. This game is over. Line drive right into the third baseman's glove, and Ted Balloon wins opening day for Naguabo with a tightrope 3-2 win. One of their favorite scores to end the game on. You can see them all there. They're all high-fiving each other. That's Picos, who's number 74, by the way.
Okay.
Victory formation over there. What a game. Ah.
Yeah, really.
Pablo Salmeron with that triple that scored 2. Ted Balloon dancing his way out of danger just enough every time. He takes the win, of course. 9 innings, 11 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts. Fernando Mota takes the loss on 8 innings pitched, 7 hits allowed, but 3 earned runs, 1 walk, and 11 strikeouts.
Amazing.
Ted, and notice this, Ted had a walk, but no hit batsman, no wild pitches, even with Salmeron behind the plate, and no balks.
It's pretty good.
Shurlu had the only multi-hit game there, and Pur Valdez and Del Castillo had 7 of the 11 strikeouts Mota put up. That's tough. They'll have to get back on the horse. I'm sure they'll eventually get there. But when the top of the lineup goes 0 for 12, oof. It's rough, buddy.
Yeah.
But what can we say? The Naguabo team, as always, surprised us, brought a whole lot of fun and joyful baseball into our lives. And we're very happy that we could be back to start the 1904 season this way. Thank you, Will, for coming. We're very happy you could be here. We're very excited to be back on the horse after our long hiatus. Any final thoughts, Louisa?
I hope that Mr. Ted Balloon appreciates that you left him in the game, which he wanted, even though it was against your better judgment. So next time you need to pull him, I hope he is a little more respectful about it.
Yes. Well, I don't really mind that. He was just trying to tell me, I'm not tired. He didn't really mean anything about nerves or anything, but
he's not a great judge of his own current status, I guess.
Perhaps, yeah. Oh well.
He did it though.
Yep. What a game. Bueno, gente, we will be back next week hopefully with a some kind of May game. It would be. I think we've got one lined up against. I think it's going to be a rivalry game against either Luquillo or Seba. But check back with us closer to next Friday. Until then, we will try to keep stuff up on the Ko-Fi. We're going to try to finish our La Pulcritud series, and we've got a player bio coming out on the main site soon, hopefully, that will ideally be really entertaining for everybody. But until next week, this has been, as always, Isidro Montalvo Espinosa, broadcast coordinator for Liga Nacional Puertorriqueña en Vivo. Buenas noches, gracias mil, y Dios les bendiga.